Bro, this new Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer has me going crazy. Just off rip. Peter Parker looking miserable as hell, having his identity erased from everyone's memories, so now he's just all alone. Like, Peter's so lonely, he's stalking his ex and best friend on social media, weirdly popping up at their house parties. He's emotionally going through it, and I feel you, Pete. And not even just emotionally, but he's physically going through it. Having some type of weird mutation messing with his body got him looking sickly. Peter Parker is getting put in the straight blender. But I just love seeing Peter like this. Don't get me wrong, I like when he's happy and go lucky, but just seeing his back against the wall trying to figure shit out, bro, that's just so lovely to me. He says in this trailer, sometimes Spider-Man has to do the hard thing even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart. That's damn near the mission statement for Spider-Man as a character. But even besides Peter's angsty vibe, I just really love the visuals and the colors in this. The color grading has this warmer feel to it, but when it does look gray, it actually feels deliberate and moody, and it doesn't feel like the default. And I'm loving the camera movement. Like when it falls with Peter as he lets himself go off the building, and the way it falls with him when he's collapsing on the ground, it just adds a little bit of extra flair. We're getting creative and possible shots like getting a look inside of Peter Parker's mask, and just the small stuff of the city lights reflecting in his eyes, hearing his heavy breathing. Or just little stuff when the camera focuses on his webs when he webs Punisher's gun. All of this just gives this movie its own identity and separates it from the other MCU movies. Which I will give the MCU some credit, because the recent movies have all had their own identities and feels to them. I'm just happy that Marvel's continuing to let these directors have their own style and flair in these movies, and not them all just looking the same. But beyond the camera stuff, I'm just loving the different locations and set pieces that they have Spider-Man in. I love seeing characters that I love doing new stuff. Who doesn't? Doing their thing in new locations. And bonus points if it isn't the standard run-of-the-mill stuff, like in Superman. They had dog fighting in a baseball stadium, in a sewer underground, in a pocket dimension with a multicolored proton river while he's protecting a green baby. Or just in a Comic-Con convention type of place. Even with this Spider-Man going to the Washington Monument in the first movie, or the entirety of Far From Home. Like, that type of stuff just scratches my brain. Like, they got Spider-Man in this trailer fighting ninjas in prison, hanging upside down from a steel beam while he stalks his ex on IG, fighting an armored tank through the city, pinging off cars monkeying about, getting flung and ragdolled across rooftops while pigeons are sticking to him, from what I assume is him testing his organic webbing. But I really like how he's on a lot of skyscrapers and rooftops. Like, that's prime time Spider-Man locations and scenery, which was really lacking in the home trilogy. And dog, the action in the Spider-Manning about looks top notch. Flinging himself off a roof with crazy speed with just one arm because Spider-Man is strong as shit. And what little web swinging we see looks great too. Seeing Spider-Man free fall as he gets closer and closer to the ground and then web swings at the last second. Classic Spidey stuff, dodging bullets and explosions while swinging. But what has me really excited is to see what type of hands that Peter Parker is throwing in this. How shifty he's gonna get. Cause the same stunt team that worked with Jackie Chan and also with the director on this, Destin Daniel Cretton on Shang-Chi, I just know that they're about to cook up some crazy combat sequences with Spider-Man in this. Even back when Shang-Chi came out, there's this sequence when he's rolling around on some scaffolding, and I always thought like, bro, those are some Spider-Man type maneuvers. Even before he was announced, I always just thought to myself, damn, he would be kind of fire on a Spider-Man movie. And here we are. Like, Spider-Man catches a sword with his webs and then shatters it. Like, that is so cold, dog. Spidey going head up with the hand in mid-air, like, bro, I know they're about to cook something crazy. At one point, Spider-Man kicks the Punisher through a windshield. That's already a hard body sentence. But what has me foaming at the mouth at this is the way that Peter winds up his kick in his form. Like, I don't know if dog is in his Shaolin bag watching a bunch of karate movies, or if he's been training or been getting trained by somebody. It'd be so cool if he just drops a line like, yeah, I've been doing some light sparring with Shang-Chi or Iron Fist. This is pretty small, but I really like how they're showing Spider-Man's effortless strength. I just love when they do it, like when they did it in Civil War when he caught Bucky's arm and he was just admiring it.
That's scary.
And even going back to that Punisher scene with him kicking him out the van, if you look closely, Peter just kicks through the windshield, but he lightly slaps Frank and he flies out the van. Or when Peter's running and jumping off that building, literally launching himself with crazy speed with just one hand. It's just little stuff like that that makes you know that the creators know Spider-Man's strength and really care about getting it right. Bro, I just know that this movie's in good hands, man. I just love how this movie's going back to the basics, going back to the streets, the mundaneness of it all. It's really refreshing just coming off the back of the multiverse stuff. But bro, we're really getting a movie with Spider-Man, Hulk, the Punisher. That's just so crazy. And that's why I love Spidey in the MCU. Yeah, it was a little bit annoying in the beginning seeing him boyish and suck up to everybody. But in this, you really get the sense that he's standing on his own too. Like the way he just treats Frank, like telling him to go home. Like, dog, you're making this situation way worse. You're not helping. Or just the way that he interacts with Bruce. Like he's not bumbling. He just has this confidence to him. This is Peter Parker now. But honestly, I forgot how much I like Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner. He's just been Smart Hulk for too long, so we really haven't seen Mark Ruffalo as Bruce. He's just such a good actor, bro. It took a lot to get here just for Spider-Man to be classic comic Spider-Man. But honestly, if we didn't have the 3 movies really building up to this wouldn't hit so hard. I know for a fact that they didn't make those first 3 movies basically a whole origin story for him. But hey, it worked out. But I do have some dislikes with this trailer. It's not all love. Some of the outside shots with Spider-Man look kinda wonky. You can clearly see that some of the CGI isn't polished. Like there's a clear quality difference from the Spider-Man stuff and the Peter Parker stuff. Some of the iffy stuff that stood out to me were like some of the montage slow motion moments, which I think will work better in context with the movie, but they kinda look off right now. And Peter running and launching himself off the building, the run is a little bit funky and the way that he launches himself off the building is a little off. It just looks like he's instantly getting sucked into a wind tunnel, getting a bunch of momentum, instead of what it actually is him launching himself off the vent with his arm. There's just not enough emphasis of him doing that, so it kind of just looks like one fluid motion. But some off CGI in a trailer for a blockbuster movie is pretty common. VFX artists working on shots pretty much until the movie comes out. And furthermore, to be fair, this movie only wrapped filming a couple months ago. So in that sense, I'm not too pressed about it. But what has me worried is this movie doesn't have a bunch of time between this trailer and release. Because often the improvements are pretty minimal. Like none of this is the Flash level bad, but it's pretty noticeable. I just hope we don't get the No Way Home treatment, because some CGI sections in that movie look pretty rough. And I get it was filming during COVID, yada yada yada, but so was the Batman. But my last kind of dislike, it's not really a dislike yet, but there's a lot of heroes and villains in this movie. So I hope they can juggle it and not have it feel bloated like Superman did, which is another movie that had a bunch of heroes and villains stuffed into it. So with that being said, for now, really my biggest dislikes are some of the CGI. But I always been in the camp, if I'm enjoying the movie and the story's good, I can forgive a little bit of wonky CGI, but that's still not an excuse for a billion-dollar company to put out this type of stuff. Give your artists the proper time they need and give them the teams that they need. But besides all that, I'm really excited for this movie, bro. Peter's angsty and moodiness, the overall look of the film, all the heroes and villains in it, like, bro, this might be my movie of the year, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, there probably might be other better movies, but bro, I love this Spider-Man. But before I end this off, I want to get into some plot speculation. Now, if you don't want to know anything that isn't in this trailer about the movie, you should probably skedaddle. So if that's you, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Twos. Now for all the peeps that stayed, what the fuck is going on with Peter's body in this? Is it Man Spider? Is it this character called the Other? Now I don't really know who the Other is. I did some brief looking into, but it's like this spider totem avatar type of destiny, and I don't know if I'm a huge fan of it. Obviously I haven't read the storyline that it's from, but it just seems like a lot, but anything could be good if they handle it well, so we'll see. But if it's Man Spider, that's kind of crazy. And the shot that Peter webs the sword and shatters it, his suit looks CGI a bit. And we've seen what the practical suit looks like in this trailer. So are they hiding something? Does he have like some extra arms? Is that why he shatters the sword so easily? Seeing some body horror Man Spider stuff would actually be kind of crazy. We do see Peter's eyes gloss over red and black. and the other does possess him at one point in the comics, so it really could go down that route too. But we know that Peter's getting organic web shooters. So is that where the mutation ends, or is there more to it? It's kind of like a reverse Spider-Man 2 situation where he was so stressed out he was losing his powers, but now he's so immersed in Spider-Man, not really giving Peter the time of day that he's developing new powers. I'm a mechanical web shooter's truther, so him getting organic webbing is really not the best thing for me. But if they do kind of like a hybrid where his webbing is so out of control and strong that he can't really control it, so he uses the mechanical web shooters to kind of hone it in, that would be kind of a good balance. But what's Punisher's involvement in this? Is he just someone that Spider-Man regularly runs into on the streets of New York? Or does he actually have some stake in this plot? There's some speculation that he might be trying to help the character that has the mind control powers in this, which people speculate to be Jean Grey. But I'll get to Jean Grey possibly being in this movie in a second. But bro, we got Scorpion in the mixture in this. Ever since Homecoming, I was like, bro, I want to see him suited up. And this is the first time we're seeing Scorpion in live action. And what's kind of funny is I really didn't realize, but Scorpion using his tail, he kind of looks a little funny. He's just throwing his ass around. Like Matt Gargan is really shaking that shit. But Matt Gargan also becomes Venom at one point in the comics. And so far, Eddie Brock or Flash Thompson or really any of the symbiote hosts besides Peter aren't in these movies. But Matt Gargan is. So could he be replacing Eddie Brock as Venom? And obviously not in this movie, but maybe a couple down the line, so that Peter gets his black symbiote arc? But a villain that's not in this trailer is Tombstone, played by Marvin Jones III. Bro, when I heard that casting, I was like, perfect. He also voices Tombstone in the Spider-Verse movies, so full circle. But in the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon, Tombstone puts belt to ass to Peter, bro. I hope we get to see something like that. But I really don't know his involvement either. I heard some speculation that he's trying to work with damage control so he can capture mutants, but he's gonna do it for his own reasoning. I don't know, but I also heard a rumor that he's gonna be around for this whole trilogy, which sounds pretty fun. But the Hand are in this, a bunch of undead ninjas. They're usually getting into it with Daredevil or Iron Fist, has ties with Elektra, but why are they in this movie? There's some speculation that Peter's trying to break Matt Murdock out of jail, Daredevil, but I don't really know. We can't really confirm that until we see where he ends up when the new season of Daredevil comes out. I mean, it's possible. It would be pretty cool to see Daredevil and Spider-Man in this movie. Actual Daredevil. And the shot when Spider-Man and the Hand are clashing when they're in the city, in the leaked trailer, that was actually set in the prison. So they're obviously trying to hide something. I don't know what it is. There's some weird empty space below Spider-Man, so maybe the Hulk's in this shot and he's in the mixture with Spidey. But speaking of Hulk, Savage Hulk is rumored for this. Yeah, we've been seeing Professor Hulk, that's cool and all, but I need that dog back. How he turns to Savage Hulk, I'm not sure, because Bruce has had a pretty good handle on his Hulk transformations lately. But with the device on his hand, he kind of is forcing himself to stay human. So I seen the idea floated, maybe it's a situation where Hulk's been forcibly repressed for like 10 or so years. So when he actually pops out, he's mad as shit. But bro, there's some real heavy speculation that Jean Grey's in this movie. At first, I was like, no way. That doesn't really make any sense. But after seeing some of the mind control stuff in this movie, it kinda is making a little bit more sense. The speculation that I'm hearing is that damage control has her imprisoned, and she's using her mind control powers to try to break herself out. And so Spider-Man gets mixed up in this, not really know what's going on, just knows that a bunch of people are going crazy. Because when Spider-Man opens that tank door, it's an old lady, and then whoever it is starts jumping mines. But what kind of has me hesitant where I don't feel like it's Jean Grey is that it just seems so sinister. But this is most likely before she goes to Xavier's school, so she's kind of unruly and on the run. But there's also a character in this that we see Spider-Man talk to, who's apparently only has comic book appearances as trying to capture Jean Grey. So with that, I kind of feel like it pretty much confirms that it is Jean. Cause why use that character and not have him do the thing that he does in the comics? But I don't really know how I feel about Jean being introduced to the MCU in a Spider-Man movie. But if it works, it works. And it's a Spider-Man movie, so a lot of people are gonna see it and could get them hyped for the X-Men. But MJ and Ned in this movie and the whole memory loss plot. First off, MJ actually looks like MJ. Why did it take them 4 movies to do it? You have her looking all grungy and stuff in the first 3 movies, but now she's just regular MJ. What were we doing the whole time? But I'm pretty sure Ned and MJ remember their adventures with Spider-Man, they just don't remember who it is. And this takes place 4 or 5 years after the last movie, so they could just be coming back to the city to try to figure out who Spider-Man is and why they have this connection with him. At first, I really wasn't feeling MJ and Ned coming back. I wanted that to breathe a little bit, but after seeing their interactions in this trailer, nah, it's alright. I just hope they just don't jump back into the status quo. Maybe leave it for the next movie. There's a shot with Peter, Ned, or MJ, one of the three, but there's a bunch of Spider-Man pictures in the back. I'm not sure if that's MJ and Ned's apartment or that's Peter's apartment, because if it's MJ and Ned's, they could be having some conspiracy board set up just trying to figure out Spider-Man's identity. But if it's Peter's, he could probably be taking pictures of himself for the Daily Bugle. Actually, I really don't even know if J. Jonah is in this movie. I mean, it would be fun to see J.K. Simmons in this. But yeah, the relationship between these three, I'm really liking how it's portrayed in this trailer. But lastly, bro, Keith David is doing a voiceover in this trailer. When they're talking about the spider's life cycles and whatnot, I'm most likely sure that's Keith David. So it could be a couple things. Peter could just be watching a documentary about spiders and just happens to be Keith David's voice. Or it's actually another professor like Kurt Connors, which would be fire. Keith David as Kurt Connors, the lizard? That's kind of gas. Also, I heard floating around it could be Miles Warren, the Jackal, which I'm pretty sure he's responsible for the Clone Saga with Ben Reilly and Scarlet Spider and all that. But I'm not too for sure though. I'm not really familiar with that storyline. But either way, Keith David in a Spider-Man movie, win. But man, I'm so pumped for this movie, bro. Like, I could not wait. Put it in my veins right now. Like, we're really getting a movie with Spider-Man, Punisher, the Hulk, Scorpion, Tombstone, possibly Jean. Like, there's a lot to like, you feel me? But how'd you feel about this Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer? Are you as hyped as me? Are you kind of lukewarm? Do you need to see some more? All I know is, yeah, I have some reserves, but I'm loving what I'm seeing. But let me know your thoughts down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and follow me on social media and all that good stuff. Links down below. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Twos.